This video will introduce you to groups. Groups can be groups of parts, systems, wires, shapes, anything in TechForce Pro you can group together and then show and hide them as you want. So you see right now this floor plan that I have here only has systems. There are no wires. So if I go down to menu, there's a groups and views, and you can see here we have a group called view wires. So we're in the groups right now, and if I click the eyeball symbol here and go to show it, you see all the wires show up and a couple notes and things show up. If I go back there and I hide it, those disappear. If I go and hide group 1, everything else disappears. Every floor plan you create automatically has a group 1, and these can be changed by clicking on it, changing the name and hitting done. And hiding and showing that group hides and shows everything. But you can assign anything to any group. So I'll demonstrate that. We'll go in and let's make a new group. So I'll click add group. It's adding a group and it defaults to the name group 3 because we have 3 groups here. And we'll call this one fire alarms. Alright, so now we'll go in and I'll add a part. And we'll find some Bosch. We'll find this fire alarm here. So we got a smoke detector here, and I'll go into the smoke detector and I'll clear out that part number, and you see we have this group down here, and I can click the group and choose fire alarms. So now this smoke detector is part of fire alarms. So if I go back into groups, and I'll zoom in so you can see it. So if I go back into groups and hide fire alarms, that now disappears. So now I have this fire alarm here that I can move into an apartment, and I can click the duplicate button and duplicate it and move one into each individual apartment. I'll do a couple of them here. And now if I go back into the groups, you can see that if I hide them, they all leave. So when you duplicate something, the group actually gets copied to all the duplicates of it. So you can just keep duplicating these fire alarms and smoke detectors throughout the building. Now if I want to have them wired together, I can, like usual, have wires going in between them. And these wires can then be clicked on and add them also to the fire alarm group. And the same thing happens when I go into that groups and hide the fire alarms, all those disappear as well. So some other examples where this is helpful is right now we have a group called blue wires, even though I have one here called orange. So let me click on that quick and change it to blue. So I have all these blue wires in here, and if I go into the group plan and hide the blue wires, they're gone. So I could have another duplicate run of wires called red wires that might be just for power. So I can hide the blue wires or hide the red wires and save it just for the image however I want. Another example of this would be if I wanted to have shapes. So I can add a shape here. So here's a shape, and let's say we want this to be the smoke detector's coverage area. So a smoke detector, let's say we want it, right now this shape is at 44 feet, and that's based on the scale here. So at the scale this is 8 feet, so this is right now 44 feet all the way across. So let's bump this up to 60 feet. So we'll go this smoke detector circle is 60 feet, and I'll bump the opacity down, and we will set it to group fire alarm. And now I will go to the shape menu and we'll copy that shape and put it on this one, and copy that one, and copy that one. So now we're making these coverage areas for the smoke detectors. And the same thing applies if I now go into the groups and hide the fire alarm level layer or the fire alarm group, those shapes also disappear.